on.
Yep. Go ahead.
Pam, So Pam, if you could point out where you put the species that you're listing in the
Sure.
block.
The first column here is for the species in the order that we came across them. You can see we ended up having to add some on here for the white pine, actually. We had too many in this particular plot. Layer is the next layer. And then we're working across using a dot count grid system. We've got total trees, total conifers, any dead. There was only one in this case, dead conifers, well spaced and free growing. And then over here, for any that had forest health issues, we're identifying them here with this code, whether they're live or dead. Vegetation topped is what VT stands for. And we've got for the white pine, this is the blister rust. Okay, DSB is the code for that one. And we're noting it here. It's a live tree, but it's affected by that.
All right. And you've got two columns there for well-spaced and free-growing here on the left, which are when you're doing your first sweep for total trees. And you've got another well-spaced and free-growing column here, but that's with the qualifier for the original preferred and acceptable that was written in the prescription.
I've got a question about that, Stefan. When you were saying that this could sometimes be more restrictive from the original silviculture prescription era and free-growing, does that mean over here that these well-spaced and free-growing are according to the current stocking standard guidelines?
Yes, you do the preference based on what is currently in policy for well-spaced and free-growing, or preferred and acceptable for that case.
So for this ecological site then, if there have been any changes to stocking standards over time, that's where you're going to reflect current knowledge over here in these two first columns.
That's right. But this is usually done on the principle that we're calling biggest and best,
Right.
which is you're picking the best, most representative trees in the stand that are probably here since the initiation of the stand and that are dominating in terms of height and diameter growth. So these are your biggest and best trees, regardless of the species. So you're picking the ones that are surviving, not necessarily the ones that the silviculturalist forecast would be surviving.
So show us a bit more, Pam, what you wrote here.
Okay, so over here for this data section, these are the layer 1 and 2 trees, okay, where we've identified them, and they'll be marked in the field, corresponding numbers, species, a DBH on all of them, and then a spot where we're recording the height. There'll be 4 heights recorded for the one for each quadrant. That's where this is recorded beside the appropriate tree.
Mm-hmm. And the fourth column there would have been for any forest health factors that would have been affecting those trees if that had been the case. So for instance, on your tree 13, it's a 16.8 white pine and it has blister rust, so DSB would go in that last column.
Oh, okay.
Just to confirm that
This
that was
column?
the tree that had it.
No, I think that's
It's the sample tree we picked.
the
Yeah.
HLC column.
So that has the additional age.
Right, and the last box there is for your growth intercept sample, so the single tree that you selected. Whether it was in the plot, in the 3.99 plot, or in the larger plot, it's your sample tree, and that's where the information for that goes.
And about the inventory label, maybe?
Last but not least, bottom right-hand corner for your inventory label estimate and your crown closure call.
And we are all done.
Yeah, who gets to say that's a wrap?
Yeah, it's a wrap.